we rise to the top. Can't stop this flow. In the heart of the jungle, we're ready, let's go. In the heart of the jungle, we're ready, let's go.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Roundtable here with Ben. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Same old right now.
Busy.
Growth in the right directions. Let's go that way.
Busy.
Yes.
That's good. But in
Yes.
a good busy progression. Good, man. Productive. That's the word I was looking for, not progression.
Yeah, the gym's been super solid this week.
Has it?
Some really good sets. My chest is the sorest it's been.
Yeah.
Working on deeper and slower reps, and it was rough.
You do dumbbells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want to get back into bench. It's on the list of getting back into.
Dang, dumbbells work. You can get a good stretch with those. You can get real deep, real deep.
Well, and that's what it was. We were doing inclines, and even I did 60s, and they felt really good for 2 full sets. And I grabbed the 65s, and I'm like, we're doing it. Even went deeper than I have, and yeah, my chest was trashed. It's the first time I haven't been able to finish a full set of flies, and I almost dropped them on me. But it's a good thing. I mean, that pushing myself, and it's been a good week.
That's awesome, dude. Good for you, man. Any PRs or anything like that this week, or just hitting it cool and steady and kind of keeping it consistent?
No, just steady this week. Last week was leg press PRs, but went for it again. But different machine, a little bit different setup. They don't push quite the same, but the quads were feeling it.
There you go. Okay.
That's all that really matters. It was still over 600 pounds, but
that's awesome, dude. Yeah,
it's good.
I was talking to no, man, I've just been chilling, dude. Hitting the cold plunges still, and what else, man? Hitting the home gym and just getting out there and doing networking, man. That's really what I've been doing. Trying to stay as busy as I can. Obviously, trying to grow this platform, and there's been a lot of stuff in the background that I've been working on with the setup, and then traction of it. There's a whole thing, man. It's been crazy.
Oh, soon they won't get to see these wonderful walls anymore.
Kind of missing it,
Yeah.
I'll have to take a piece of it when you start taking it down. But no, man, just busy with that, and was in a leadership conference the weekend, and then went into which is for my business, and then I went into a leadership conference for work. And that was 3 days, so it was 5 days, 6 days almost of just constant information, dude, just back and forth, and it was good though. It was good information. It was good to get around leaders and kind of hear them, whether it be from the business side, entrepreneur, and then the corporate side, and it was cool, man. It really was, and started like I said, networked with a bunch of people at this last work event or whatever, and it was cool, man. I mean, I met a guy. I think you'd get along with him, and he's really a cool guy, dude. He's in facilities. He's a facilities guy.
I try to get along with most people, but
he's tattooed a full sleeve and everything, and just like you would think is like a gym bro, you know what I mean? And we were just talking. One of the exercises was talk about a time that the purpose of the talk was essentially for you to understand the impact that you have on people, right? So he made us think of the first exercise was tell us of something that you knew that you would influence, or that somebody would influence you. So that was pretty easy, right? You can talk about as somebody that you think of as a person that had a great influence, and then he reversed it and was tell us something, somebody that you've influenced, that that you've influenced and you've had an impact in their life, and don't try to minimize it. Just truly accept that you made an impact. But anyways, we kind of get to know his story. Kind of mentioned, he's a gym guy, dude. He looks in shape and totally cool guy, and so he was talking and telling the stories. He was at his gym that he goes to, and he saw a young kid, probably 10 years old, and started working out. And he said something in that story, which is most people don't talk to me because I just have this look. And we've talked about this, and I don't think he doesn't have he just looks like a dude, like a regular dude. But he works out, so it's kind of, I guess it can be a little bit intimidating. But it just got me thinking, man. I was with the networking stuff, how many people go around, because he almost said it it bothered him. I'm sure he's perfectly fine, but he's yeah, nobody talks to me. I'm at the gym and nobody comes up to me, nobody says anything to me. And I started thinking, I was dang, dude, how many guys and how many people are out there that, are really cool people when you get to know them, But nobody actually takes a step because you're intimidated or you're like, oh, this guy looks like a mean dude. And we like kill that potential good friendship or that just knowing somebody because we're so in our own heads about like, hey, this guy's going to think I'm weird. This guy's probably a cool guy. You don't want me to talk to him. But the way it came across is like, yeah, he's just a normal dude hoping that somebody can come up and say, what's up, dude? What you up to, man? Good to see you here. And I was just started thinking of all those things that we've seen at the gym where you see all these guys and sometimes you just got to like break the ice. Like, hey, what's up, man? I see you here all the time, bro. Like, you're getting it. Boom. That's it. Next time you see him, you'd say something else. I don't know. But I just thought it was funny because I was like, this dude looks like we could hang out with him. Like, totally chill.
It's funny you say that because it got me thinking. I mean, there's a guy, and you've probably seen him. I mean, he's same thing, tatted up. You wouldn't think. I mean, I saw him way back when I started at Vasa, like way back when. And, when we were going in the mornings, I just got used to seeing him. And, he's just a nice guy. Just, one day just said, hey, and like just randomly talk. We'll just randomly talk. And I actually, when South Jordan opened, he started going there. And then I started going there, ran into him a few times. And most of the time when I was going in the mornings, I was so just like, I just need to get my stuff done. And occasionally I'd go say hi. But I had to go Thursday. And, I'd ended up waking up early and gone through some like just getting my mindset correct where I knew, okay, this is why I'm doing it, getting back and not on purpose, but getting back to where I would need to be. Walk in and gym's empty, but pretty empty, but he's sitting there and he just, head nod, but I'm like, it's been a minute. I'll go say hi to him. Same thing. Dude, you would like, dude's jacked, tatted head to toe. Somebody you might be not nicest guy. Another guy came up just a couple times like, hey, bro, you mind if I work in? Yeah, no problem. Just ended up just talking. Actually, no, it started with me being like, yo, I like your tattoo. And just talking. And now if I go in the morning, he's like, hey, what's up? Occasionally if I go Friday evening or Friday something, hey, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. I see him randomly and just, say hi and talk to him for a minute. And yep, cool guy.
Yeah. It's all it takes sometimes. Just that little compliment or that little, hey, acknowledgement that you see them, right?
And one more just to add to it, just speaking out. There's a group of people that come I generally see them on Saturdays. They live together. I mean, they're pushing weight, but we happen to be at an event for the doctor that did all my wife's surgeries. And I happen to look back. I'm like, yo, I've seen you at EOS before. He's like, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. And I think he kind of recognized me, but next time I go to the gym, he's like, yo, what up, man? And every time I see him, he's like, yo, keep after it. Just,
Simple shit. Yeah.
Yeah, just simple, like acknowledgement.
It just got me thinking, man. I was like, damn, dude, how many opportunities did we kill because we're so in our heads or we're so intimidated or whatever it might be, whatever excuse people say in their heads to not just go up to say something to somebody. Man, you can build a great connection with them.
You also don't know how it's going to affect you don't know the impact that could have on somebody. I mean, if somebody came up and was like, yo, your arms are looking good. I've seen you for a while. I'd be like, oh, shit. Like, I'm feeling good. Like, all right. Hey, I saw you put those up. That was a pretty solid set. Keep it up, man. Yeah. Next time, let's go. I'll be right here if you want to go heavier next time. That'd be freaking cool.
Yeah. That's a good point. Even, like you said, if you go to a gym a lot and you see the same guy, you're like, this guy looks kind of cool, or I see him all the time. Just go, hey, man, you kill it every day. I see you here, man. I see you. They'll say the exact same thing about you. Like, I see you here too, bro. If you see me, then I'm seeing you. You know what I mean? So I just want to give people the example of like these simple conversations can be life changers, man. You might meet a super cool guy that you'll be friends for the rest of your life just because you said something. Hey, man, I like your tattoo. That's a sick tattoo, bro. Not to go anything further than that. You have to be weird about it, but
and I've done that quite a bit. I'll see some, and I mean, doesn't matter gender. Just working out, happen to see it. As soon as they're done, hey, yo, I like your tattoo. Mm-hmm. That thing's pretty sick.
Yeah, it just got me thinking, man. I was like, when he's telling his story, I was like, fuck, dude. I could feel it, his energy of like, yeah, man, like this shit sucks. I wish somebody would just say something. And he's ended the story with just saying that he'd kind of help this kid he gave the kid advice on the form that he was doing. And he's like, hey, I'm just telling you this because obviously I work out a lot, and you're young, and I don't want you to get hurt. That's the last thing I want you to do is get hurt, push away, because when you're beginning, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And he's 10 years old. I mean, gosh.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
you're still miles ahead of me at, now, but
yeah, don't drop our ages.
yeah. That's why I said for now.
But yeah, man, it was crazy, bro, and it was good to kind of hear that and it gets a perspective. I know, like I said, I've been going out trying to make as many connections as I can, and it really took me aback. I was like, just because I judge all the time, not in a
As
negative
much as you
sense.
try not to.
I just do. I'm sorry.
It's I think it's part of nature.
Yeah.
It's always, everybody's like, I'm not judging you. To a degree, we're judging constantly, and that's life. It's it's that act react motion,
Right.
in my opinion.
And I think in my sense, it's like if I'm aware of that I'm judging, then I just try to break that and be like, I'm just gonna go say something to the other person, and if it works out, they solidified my judgment and I was right, then I was right and I move on with my life. But if not, then, most of the time people, I'm sure they see me, they're like, this guy looks like a fucking mean person. I'm not really smiling all the time. But if you come up to me and say something like, what's up, bro? I'm talking to a person. I'll talk to you for whatever, but, yeah, man, it was super cool. And I just wanted to share that with you. Cause I was like, I saw him and he looks like a super cool guy. He's got like a ton of kids. He's, been divorced. He's been remarried. He's just a super cool guy, and you get to talk to him. He's got some really cool stories, and I talked to a bunch of people at the conference, and it was kind of nice to hear people's, stories and just really listen, just hear them tell their stories, which is why we're doing this, right? We want to hear a ton of different stories from all the people that are out there that we can get on the show. We've talked about guests that we can get on, and I was like, this is what it's about for us. Like for me, it's like this. I just want to hear what people have to say. Yeah. Just tell me what you've been through. When you start hearing their life experiences, I met a lady that lives in Arizona that telling me, come visit. There's this thing called the vortex and blah, 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 blah. And go to this hike. And I'm just like, oh, really? Like, and I'm taking notes on my phone. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just taking notes. Like, I'm not ignoring you because I want to tell my wife about this stuff. And she just talked and talked and talked. And she's like, oh, you made my day. You should little old lady. So you made my day. Thank you so much for listening to me. I was like, oh, thank you. You made my day because now I got information that I could take back and share it with people. And she's like, oh, you're so sweet, and just little things, man.
I was going to say, the other thing about it, like if you're checking out, I mean, I'll go back to buying our freaking car. Like instead of just sitting there in the awkward silence, like, I mean, everybody's bought something where it takes a minute. Just speak to them. I mean, they're a freaking human. They're there doing their job. I mean, we found out about a bunch of stuff for our Moab trip while we're buying a freaking car. Happens to be the guy that we're talking to loves Moab, goes down there constantly. Had just got back not long before that.
Right.
So it's like if we hadn't if he hadn't also tried to have some sort of conversation with us, like, oh, what's going on? Like, how's it going? Da 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 da. Mm-hmm. We would have never found out about some of the things or known some of the things. Yeah. It goes that way with a lot of things. So I mean, if you don't know, I mean,
you just got to step up.
Yeah.
You just got to be the first to act. And it's like you said, it's like if you're riding an elevator and it's that awkward silence sometimes, like just break it. Just like, hey, what's up? Yeah. Where are you going? What are you doing here? I'm going to go. Wherever. I don't know what you're doing there, but just
worst case,
say something.
Worst case, they just glare at you and look at you weird. Yeah. But I mean,
10 seconds
you
get off and they go about their day. You know what I mean? I've had people do that. I say something and they'll just keep walking. I'm like, oh, whatever. Like,
to me, like the clothes we wear represent something about us, right? Mm-hmm. There was a guy at the gym the other day had this. his sweatshirt said like, keep hating me, it turns me on, or something like that. Go ahead and tell me you hate me, it turns me on, something like that. It cracked me up because I'm like, man, that's just.
Was it a hoodie?
It was.
No fucking way, dude.
Yeah.
I swear to God, not even joking with you. I saw that when I was talking to that guy, there was a guy right behind him that had a sweatshirt in the back that said that, and I was like, that is the funniest fucking sweater.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say something to him, but he left. That is so funny, dude. I've never seen it. This is the first time, and it was literally one day ago. That's crazy.
He was at the gym on Tuesday night or one of the nights we were there. I think it would have been Monday or Tuesday. And it just so happened, and I saw him, and I went to go say something, but he was in the middle of a set, and I'm like, man, I hope I get a chance to say something to him. Lo and behold, he comes to the bench right next to us. So as he finishes his set, I reach over, and I'm like, hey, man, I love your hoodie. And he's like, oh, thanks. He's like, oh, you a big Andy fan? Because I'm wearing a First Form shirt. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Start kind of talking, and, we start talking about the different people, and, that we got it. I was like, oh, yeah, I got to meet him, just kind of talk to him a little bit. But it's a I would have never had the conversation to have any conversation about why I don't have a six pack or this or that if I hadn't just said, hey, nice hoodie. You know, I'm wearing another shirt, another First Form shirt at the other gym, and one of the trainers comes up and goes, yo, I just want to let you know I freaking love that shirt.
Yeah.
Come to find out he's a trainer in the First Form app and this and that. And it's just like, oh. And I've wanted to go up to him, but again, I'm like, every time I see him, he's with somebody. And I'm like, I don't want to interrupt your business because that's taking time away from somebody else to just say, hey, you know, say something real quick. But he had a minute and he popped over to say hi. Well, now another person I see all the time at the gym saw him the other night. He's like, yo, man, have a good night.
Yeah.
It's something so simple. Like what we wear, I mean, comment on it. There's so many people. I'm like, yo, that's a sick shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a funny shirt. You know, just say something. I mean, we bought it for a reason. We like the shit. It's a conversation starter. I mean, we've talked about it. You never know what it's going to make either.
Yeah. And I've always heard be interested, not interesting.
Yeah.
So just, you know, like you said, they have something that oh, what is that? I've never seen that logo before. I'm sure people, I mean, maybe not in the gym world, but people look at that and be like, what is that? You know, if you have a question, just go, hey, what's up with that shirt, man? I've never, you know, even the guy with the hoodie, that's fucking actually hilarious that you saw the same person. It might not be the same person, but I've never seen that hoodie.
Hilarious if it was. But I hadn't either. It just struck me.
He goes to the gym?
Yeah.
You seen him before? Like you seen him again?
I just saw him Tuesday was the first time I've seen him.
If you see him again, ask him. Be like, hey, have you ever been to this, do you know what the company is? Just ask him that. He's like, oh, no, I don't know what that is. Like, oh, my buddy thought, you know, that.
I'll ask him. If it's the same person, it'd be hilarious.
Because that'd be crazy.
It would.
Because I literally saw him, but I was talking to the guy. And I was like, oh, when he gets up or when I'm done, I'm going to say it. But then I was talking to him. I turned around. He was gone. I was like, fuck, I was going to tell him that's a sick ass sweater, dude. Because it's funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I was like, that is funny to walk around with and be like, yeah, you hate on me. Like, it turns me on.
Yeah, it was. I was laughing. I was like, man, I want that hoodie.
That is so funny.
I kind of want that hoodie.
We had the same thought, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was going to ask him, like, where'd you get that, bro? Because I could see myself wearing that to the gym. Like, I think, you know, it'd be pretty fun. So
it would be.
But yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about that, dude. I thought it was interesting, and I thought it's an important thing to just network, man. Just talk with people, just get to know people. You don't have to be their best friend, but just, I don't know, you might turn into a good friend, you might not, but at least you made somebody's day. You're like, hey, man, the shirt looks sick, or that tattoo is sick.
Yeah.
You're pushing weight. You never know what they're going through, and I think it's just that connection that we thrive in. That we could thrive in, and just build a community, man. It's really not that difficult.
Well, I think we got so used to isolation that it's hard for us to get back to socialization.
Yeah. Also the age too.
Yeah.
It's harder when you're older, right? To make friends or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about it too, but it's the generational era. I mean, back, you know, our parents' age, I mean, even when we were kids, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all this stuff. Like, they just started coming around with like AOL and internet and stuff when we started. Wow, this is aging
AOL, bro.
It's aging the hell out of me right now. So
Messenger.
Ooh, yeah, you know, that stuff just. I mean, it was out, but it wasn't super common, and it was slowly getting more and more common at those times.
Yeah.
But we had to talk to people in person. You had to pick up the phone and dial the number and say, "Hey, is so and so here?"
Yeah.
Before you could do anything.
I remember having to go knock on my friend's door.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is you know, Bob here? Can he play? Can he come out and play? And
Yeah.
always that nervousness that, you know, you're gonna
Mom was
knock.
going to say no. And it's
But
just
it helped.
bedtime
Yeah.
and this. But you had to have the social skills. I mean, going even farther back, they had to write letters or they had to talk in person. I mean, if they were meeting somebody, it wasn't I met him on Tinder or this or that. It was I met him at a bar, or I met him at the grocery store, or I met him at the gas station. Like, you had to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
AKA why your father-in-law is great at talking to people. You know?
A little too good sometimes.
Yeah, but, you know, but that's an era that we have gone away from. Now everybody can talk online to people. But in person, there's so many stigmas and so many issues, and so many people have been so beaten down on the internet for different things that in some degrees are too much, and some degrees are, the hell are you making a big deal out of a compliment, you know?
Yeah.
That it just becomes a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
And so people have a hard time going up and saying something. I mean, especially gender to gender, at least for me. Like, it's harder for me to go up and be like, hey, that top looks good on you. I don't want you to think I'm staring at you.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But, you know, to go up and be like, hey, just so you know, your shoulders and back look great. Like, you're in a gym. You're wearing not much, you know, sports bra. You can see it all.
Mm.
You're working out in the same area. You're going to notice.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, you're braver than me. I don't do that type of shit. But
I've only done it like twice, I think.
you're braver than me.
One of them, the shirt said like 0 fucks given.
Okay, that's pretty
You know, and it was, I'm doing lat pull downs and she's literally right there. So
Yeah.
there's not,
yeah,
I can't not look, right?
Right.
And the other one, I've seen her around multiple times, and
It's like,
we just,
yeah.
yeah, and I happened to be going in the room. She was like flexing it, and I'm like, you know what? It could make her day.
Yeah,
She could
that's
hear
cool.
it a lot,
For sure.
but just go up and be like, oh, back and shoulders look insane. They're looking good. Keep
There
it
you
up.
go. That's awesome.
And she said thanks, and I walked away. I didn't
Yeah, you
stand
don't
there and
linger and
gawk
shit.
at her or anything, but I just, okay, cool, thanks.
That's sick. No, that's a good point, man. No, I think, yeah, that's really all it was, man. I just wanted to talk through that. I thought it was a cool
No.
little thing to hear. I thought it was interesting, and then obviously, you know, it being essentially an internal networking event, I just thought it was funny. And then kind of watching through the day, yeah, people didn't really, you know, say much to him, so whatever. But I was like, yeah, like I could see how that could be easily fixed by just somebody just like, what's up, man? See you here all the time. Or hey, man, I'm new. You come here a lot? Oh yeah, I do. He goes to a smaller gym, but yeah, I just thought it was an interesting story when I heard it. I was like, yeah, I gotta share that with Dustin. I thought it
Oh, that
makes
is.
sense.
I mean,
you know?
I know my wife feels that a lot. I feel that a lot. We're at the gym a lot. We see a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
A lot of the same people don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, and then a lot of them will say, "Well, I'm just here to get shit
Yeah.
done," which is fine. You know, I've
Yeah, I mean, you don't have
Whatever.
to socialize either. Like,
say what's up.
you know, if you're not into it, that's fine. I mean, I've had some great talks with some random ass people at the gym
Yeah.
that just, I mean, shit, we met a guy, John.
The dude. Yeah.
Yeah, same way. I see him occasionally at nights, talk to him occasionally still
Yeah. We gotta get him on. Yeah.
over just a simple conversation that he happened to be like, look, and he did it the right. I mean, he did it any other way that I would. Yo, I'm not trying to overhear you, but I just went through this shit too. Like,
Yeah.
just snap.
It
just
was
like
wild.
that.
It was a crazy. Yeah, because I was having a tough time during that time, and I was just yapping away like I always do. And he's like, "Hey, I don't mean to."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, dude, you're cool, man. I don't give a fuck."
But now, like I said, I show up to the gym and I see him and we talk for a minute. You know, he says hi to my wife and he goes about his day. I go about mine, and
Yeah.
we have a
Came
good.
to the
Yeah, he came,
the ruck
did a
or
ruck
whatever.
with us and
Yeah.
everything, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just little things like that. It's just cool. It's just cool to have, you know, even if they essentially acquaintances, right?
Yeah,
Hey, they know that you're there. You can say what's up. You say what's up, and you move on. You know what I mean?
yeah. We're not saying anybody has to be part of your great inner circle that you meet, but you never know what could be created. I
Yeah.
mean, some of our really great friends have started out as just a client, and they've grown to be much more than that for my wife.
Yeah.
You know, people we've evolved to get to know and to learn and appreciate, and just, you find the right people at the right time.
Yeah, you just also never know what people are going through, and it's just nice
Yeah.
to build that connection. So, yeah, man, I just want to share that with you, bro. I thought it was a cool little story. So I was like,
No,
I'll share
it
this
is.
with him, man. I'll see what he thinks. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, bro. That's all I got for today.
You know, before we end it, that's a big reason why, and I think you might have made it to this phase through the 75 hard lifestyle. But in one of the phases, it's you got to go talk to 3 people, and not just compliment them. You have to actually have like a little bit of a conversation with them, and that's the reason why. just right there, all in what we're talking about. You never know what that person's going through. You never know, that person could just need to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you just made a friend. Maybe you learned something new.
Yeah.
Maybe you could teach them something new.
Yeah, and always, you know, before when I was younger, and I was like, I just want to meet the right person, right? I was always, you know, driven to like, oh, I meet a successful entrepreneur, give me an opportunity, blah blah blah. That was honestly always my agenda, but now it's just like, man, just trying to hear somebody's story. You know what I mean? And have I met some pretty successful people? Hell yeah. But I don't look at them in that manner. I probably got some, pretty big numbers in my phone that I can call that, probably make a lot of money. They're probably pretty influential here in Utah. But I'm like, you know what? It's not even about that. It's about just, if I ever have the opportunity to share, if they ever have the opportunity to get on and just share their story, bro, that's all I would want. That's all I would want, is people to hear their story and understand that, they'll say a lot of the same things you'll hear anywhere else, which is, look, man, I was where you were, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it might be. And I just made a decision and did something different. And this is where I'm at. But it's just cool, man, to just put yourself out there. Like, it's okay. You're going to fail. We've talked about this a million times. And, you never know. You might make a best friend. You might make a business partner. You might make somebody that, you might be like a family to you now. You don't know. But until you're the one that has to step up and take that initiative to put yourself out there. And if it works out, it works out. If not, you at least, say what's up to somebody. You move on with your life. Not a big deal.
Exactly. I feel like it's pretty obvious what the challenge is, guys. Just go say hi to somebody. Go compliment somebody. Say hi. I know we've done this challenge before.
For sure.
But it is a good one to keep coming back to, because you never know what someone's going through. There's been a handful of times in my life that if somebody would have come up, I mean, I'm still here, so obviously there's a reason. But there's a point in time where if somebody would have came up, it would have changed my whole day. I can promise you that. So
I love it.
You never know.
Cool, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, brother.
Have a good one, guys.
See you guys.
The Round Table Podcast, where we talk to our personal growth, struggles and journey.